Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so very much for clicking on my videos. I really do appreciate your time. Before I get into my finished projects for this week, I just wanted to remind everybody that I've been invited to be part of a shawl swap for 2026. If you know that we had one last year, Mary from Slow Crochet and Jana Kay from Leave It to Stitches has put this together, and I'm so pleased to be invited to join again this year. We did it last year and it was so much fun. So this year, again, Mary and Jana Kay are going to be involved, as well as Connie from Connie's Crafted Corner. She was in it last year as well. And then we've got two new people joining us this year. We've got Ellen from Ellen's Crochet and Raina from Snailworks Crochet. So if you haven't already checked them out, please do go give them a hello. You know, we appreciate all of the cross-cultural subscription requests. You know, we're all trying to help each other out, grow our channels and so forth. So it's a really great thing, and it's a lot of love shared in this community. So we do appreciate anytime you click on our videos or click subscribe or click like or comment and be interactive and so forth. So I'm going to list everybody down below, and please do go check them all out. And also on the flip side, if you're from them and you're coming to see me, thank you so much. I appreciate it so very much. Okay, so last video that I shared with you about this yarn, it was a purchase from across the sea over in Denmark, and it was LindeHobby. I'll go ahead and link them down below. I bought this sort of plushy yarn. I really enjoy making amigurumi or stuffies or plushies or loveys or whatever with this softer. I guess it's kind of chenille yarn here, it says on the label. I know that there are other chenille yarns, like Just Yarn has that at the Dollar Tree. I haven't bought any of that. But I showed you these three colors that I purchased. I was making a purchase of yarn for my shawl swap, my shawl share, and I decided to pick these up as well. So the colors involved is Nescafe, is this kind of lighter. It's like a coffee. It almost matches what's in my coffee cup right now. I'm a cream and sugar gal, so that's what that one is. And then this really rich chocolate. It looks a little bit red on camera for me right now, but it's just a beautiful, deep chocolate color. It's called Bitter Coffee. And then, of course, I told you I wanted to make some elephants with this dark gray. And it is really kind of a darker gray. And it turned out very cute. So the patterns that I found to work with, and I'm going to show you here today. I can't say the names of all of these people, so I'll just go ahead and list this one down below. This was the first one that I made. I did tell you that I wanted to make an elephant with that gray, based on my grandmother's love for elephants that got passed down to me. And so, again, I do not ever claim to be an expert at anything that I create. And especially like plushies and loveys and amigurumi or whatever, I'm still learning so much. So this was, it's a 5-weight yarn, and I used a 4.5mm hook for it. And it's just the cutest little, here's your little tail, and you just make these two separate and sew them on. I can't remember the gist of everything that all the details that go along with it, but it is a YouTube tutorial that I'll link down below. And so it's really helpful that there are instructions in the pinned comments. The very top pinned comment is a breakdown of what stitches you need to do. And so she's super cute. I don't know if I want to put another stitch behind the ears, like they're just kind of sewn on gently, you know, and yeah, I don't know. She's just super cute. And her eyes are kind of like, I don't want to say weak, but they're small and cute and sweet. And, you know, I just used a safety eye on these, and I didn't do any embellishment. So I think it's the right size. Her little tusk doesn't, her trunk, there's no, pipe cleaner or anything bendy to go in there. It's just the way you do your stitches, that it creates a little form like this. And she just sits real cute, real soft, real sweet. I love it. Love it. And this yarn is so stinking soft, I can't even stand it. I'm sure if you make one, you'll love it just as much. It'll be very, very easy for you if you're able to follow the pattern along. So I did want to sort of, like their feet are done in a different color, or like the inside of the ears are done in a different color sometimes when we're dealing with animals or whatever. And so I had this Adorable from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's turning, the coloring is so bad this morning. It's super early still, and we have a completely grayed out sky, so I'm not going to have any sun. I figured I just needed to jump on here and get my recording done while I can. We've got plans to go fishing this weekend at down at a lake, and a bunch of people come in, and so we're kind of looking forward to that. So this is kind of like, make sure I get you guys taken care of before I go off for fishing. So if it's not turning red on you, it's just white with pink and gray, but the gray is really soft. If you can see, it's almost too soft. So I decided not to kind of mix that one up, and I just really liked her, how she is, you know. So yeah, I think I could definitely make another one with like a combination of some foot color, little, you know, toenails maybe. Like I didn't put any toenails on her. She's got, elephants always have great feet with toenails. So I think that I did do something different in that, in the bottom of her feet. I think this is the one. So generally in all of these type of pieces, you're starting with a magic ring or a circle of some sort that you then go into and then increase and that sort of thing. And so sometimes when you do that, you get more of a point. I saw a diagram, and I wish I saved it for you guys to share with what I'm trying to say. When you're doing stitches in a magic ring or in a circle, the fewer you have, I think it goes up into a point more. And I wanted this like an elephant's got a flat foot. So I changed up the count on the foot to make sure that it started flatter, like a flat elephant foot does. But yeah, I just love. Every time I pick her up to move it, I'm like, oh yeah, she's so soft. I love this. So yeah, so there's her. And then the second thing that I made was the teddy bear. Now, this one, the designer of this one, I've seen a couple of her. She does a lot of different kind of animals and stuff, and so she's a good one, I think, to follow if you're going to kind of be into this and get some different informations and stuff. M-A-H-U-M, Mahum. But I did not put it together yet because I told you guys that I bought those little stick pins with a big fat button head to be able to pin pieces into place so that I can then sew them together. But this yarn is way too soft, and those little pins aren't quite long enough. So I was trying to pin the pieces on this to sew it together, and they just kept falling off. So I don't know if I'm going to need, like, I don't know if it's a knitting, if it's just a knitting needle, like a giant knitting needle that people have put through their work. Long hat pin or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. But so I have parts. Here's my teddy bear head. And here's my teddy bear body. I got to put that together still. And then you've got a couple of ears and a couple of feet. And where's my other parts? And then here's an arm. And the ears, you have to fold them in half and then also pinch them together. Fold them in half because it's a big round. It's a big round. You fold them in half and then pinch them together, like kind of like this. And I don't know how I'm pinching and holding and placing and counting. Like, it's really hard once they get it's kind of dark, man. This was not a good one for me to try on, something like this, but the rounds are kind of harder to see, and like I say, it's so slickery, the pins aren't sticking in there. So the only other thing that I'm showing you with this one is that I did make his little like muzzle a different color, and then like the little ears come up here. You got two ears. So this is like his little nose face thing, and then you do any other sewing on, you know, right onto that. So this one's going to kind of sit here unfinished for a little bit because I'm really struggling with it and I don't want to struggle. So I'll come back to that later. So here I am buying, you know, my plushy yarn for my lovies or amigurumis or whatever. And I'm on the elephant kick, so I want some gray, and I'm on the teddy bear kick, so I want some brown. You know, a lot of these great yarns come in so many different colors, and people do great weirdo color octopuses and dragons and all these different, you know, cool looking critters. But my brain only like sticks to natural. Like I want a teddy bear, it's going to be browns. I want an elephant, it's going to be grays. So that's where I'm kind of stuck in my creativity row, my creativity level. You work right up to it and then you're like, I'm good here. So you really have to push yourself to come outside of that level. And I'm working on it. So anyway, so I had ordered, I was running out of the polyfill. I couldn't fill my, I finished the elephant, but I couldn't fill the teddy bear yet. I had to buy some more polyfill. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to go online. I don't want to just buy like the small little bag that I was buying at Walmart or whatever. I'm into this stuffy thing. I really need some more polyfill, like of quantity. So you can buy anywhere from like, you know, I think my little store size bag was like 10 ounces or 12 ounces or something like that. And you can buy a big old 5-pound box, you know. And so I like the convenience of dealing with one bag at a time. Like I usually hold the polyfill bag like at my feet while I'm stuffing or my plushies or whatever. And I don't want like some big old box, like it wouldn't fit in my area or whatever. So I found bags that were big bags. They are 32-ounce bags. And they were being sold in a package of 2. And so I bought 2 of those. So I have 4 of these giant bags. And the box that they came in, like from the manufacturer, comes with 6 bags. So they only had to open a box and take 2 out and close it back up and ship it to me. But anyway, so you order online and you think you're, you know, like with Amazon, you can change your delivery date to be all on one day so that they're not making multiple trips, which is kind of the purpose. Like the intention when you order online is to get everything at once. So I ordered 3 items and they shipped these 3 items from 3 different locations in the US. So that was super frustrating for me, number 1. Number 2, when you order online, sometimes like if I'm ordering from Walmart.com or whatever, I look to make sure that I can return it in the store if I don't like it. And at this point, when I see 3 different trucks or whatever, 3 different states are shipping me my stuff, then I'm like, I feel more responsible to just keep it because look at all the effort that went into shipping it to me. And then I don't like it. I just take it back to the store. No, that's a big, big waste. And that is opposite of what I'm trying to do. So the 3 things that I purchased were a bundle of 3 of this yarn. This is something I have not seen before. It's called Velvet Yarn and it's by Comfy Time. It's soft. The colorway is, does it not even give me a colorway? Oh, these people, I tell you what. Okay, maybe I'm just not seeing it. I will share the entire roll with you and we can see what colorway it might be. I don't see a name anywhere. So, ta-da. Okay, so anyway, so it came in a bundle of 3 of these. I'll use it for something. I'm not sure what. This was $15.99 and it was marked half off. So I don't know who in their right mind would have spent over $30 for these 3 skeins. That's kind of stupid, which is probably why it was on half off sale. So yeah, so I'll be using that for something, not sure exactly what. It's kind of a goldish brown, a little bit different. You can see here, there's a bit more of a shininess, a bit more of a, like I say, a golden. So that's a little bit different. And then the other color I got was, again, I want to call it, this one says light gray. Maybe it's on the packaging. Khaki. So they call this one khaki, like khaki shorts. And then this one is called light gray. So again, it'll do donkey. It'll do just fine. I'm not returning it. I already said that. So let's go ahead and open it. It's really light. Really, really, really light. Let's hold it up to the dark gray I had from the other one. Ooh, super light. Oh, I wonder if this might work with that. Where'd my Adore ball go? Oh, it's right here. That might fit. That might work out a little bit better. I don't know. The yarns weren't as different between the Adore ball and the Lindy, but this one it is. You know, sometimes you get a plushie that's totally like, see, the Adore ball is very round. This is not very round. This is sort of like a, like two-dimensional or something. It's a little bit different. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. Like I say, it totally, you know, goes against my reasons for buying it online when it puts me in a position where I feel like I shouldn't even return it. So that'll be what it is. Okay. And then finally, finally, I did pick up some more of my, what's this called? Snugs and Kisses from the Hobby Lobby yarns. And I've got two things here that I made, two bunnies. And I changed up. Brianna Nicole is who did this tutorial. And I want to say, I can't remember what the count was, but I changed it. It was like either a count of 6 and I changed it to 8 or vice versa. I don't remember, but I used a 6mm hook with both of these. And these are, when I get to these, I love to make these and then I want to stop. The face is the completing part of it, and I just want to stop. I just want to get to this point and then stop. You guys know what a struggle I've had in making eyes. I try, and I look at different videos, and I try different techniques. And a lot of times when I'm looking at a tutorial, they are showing like worsted weight yarn, or, you know, not the same yarn as me. So when you go into a stitch to do this eye, it doesn't end up sitting the same because of the yarn, right? So anyway, you have to apply the techniques to what it is that you're working on at the time. It's not always going to be applicable to your you know, project. And I continue, I'm going to continue to try to work with this, but I'm not making these things to sell. These are for my grandchildren to play with, and for me to gain experience, and for me to have fun, and for me to be in a yarny space. So you're going to see things that you would do differently. I always like to preface it with that. I like to, what I'm showing you is what I've done, not always the right way to do it. So here is my bunny that I came up with on this one. I did try to give her some eyelash. Got the little white sparkle here and a little white around the side of the eye here. And then just kind of tried to go with a triangle nose. But here's where, like, my eyes don't always look the same as each other. You're working on one, I left everything intact and then tried to tie off and do everything together, and it doesn't always work out the same. So it's a little bit frustrating. The other thing is that this is the type of pattern, anytime you're working with amigurumi, if you're not, even if you are using the very same yarn and the very same hook that the person in the tutorial is, your tension might be different. So when they say, you know, sew on the ear on stitch X, you know, you might sew on your ear at stitch Y instead because it's a different spot. So also, if you're not aware, I've seen some people complain about this. When you're working in the round, things aren't always exactly symmetrical, okay? So if you look at it from one angle, you might think that the ears or the arms are not even with each other, or not even with each other. That's just the way it goes. If you want every row to be exactly the same, you have to work in a row and then slip to join, or whatever your joining is. When you work in the round, you just go, go, go. When you're working in rows, you've got your evenness to be in the same spot. So an example is that here comes my head, right? Here's your circle, you come in on down. And so when you're attaching the ear on this side, it's not the same as where you're, see how this row, you come up and then you're coming down like this, because that's how you're working in a circle, in the round. So this ear and this ear, although they are on the same row, this one ends up to be a little bit higher up. And some people nitpick on that. So if that's going to be your way, your thought process, then just work in a row and then join and then go up to your next row, and then everything's going to be even keel like this. When you're working in the round, you're going to get a little bit of an angle. So you may have to adjust where you're applying or where you're putting those pieces into your project. And that's only when, what I'm talking about is only when you are going to join a piece. So like you made your arms separate, or, you know, you made your ears and your arms separate on this. So as you started in the round, then you get to a point and you sew into the ear and into the head, and you're crocheting it as part of that row, or part of that round, if you will. If you are making them and then just sewing them on, you can put them wherever you want. So that's a whole lot more freeing, but some people don't like to sew stuff on. So that's just completely up to you, how you like to do your amigurumis, you know, what process you prefer. So my yellow one is a little bit bigger. So I think that's the one. Either that's per project at 8 count, and I changed this one to 6, or this one's per project and I went up for 8 on this one. I don't remember. And some of the faces that I was seeing were very, very basic. Yeah, basic. Okay. Like just no eyelash, no glint, no nothing. And so I was thinking, what's that going to look like? Let me try that one. And I'm not in love with it. It's very, very basic. Like I said, no mouth, like whatever this little nosy type thing is. So I worked on those. And I also watched a video. Gosh, I'm going to really, really try to find it. It was like 5, I think it was like ways to embellish a safety eye. So I think I was looking at it for my safety eyes here, and then can you do something to help make those look better or whatever. If I can find that, I'll link it down below. But it was, there's just a lot out there for you to take and apply what you like about those tips and tricks. Things that, you know, the way that you want it to look, you can try those things. And sometimes, like when you're adding like the little glint of the eye, or that little white piece that goes around, it's very easy when you're trying to tie off those pull. So it's like constantly taking your needle and trying to lift those stitches back out a little bit. And then it looks worked on or worn out or whatever. So I'm not thrilled. I am thrilled because I continue to work on stuffies that I just love. I can't stop holding on to this. Like I'm an adult, I'm a grown person, but I love a little stuffed animal. Like I can't tell you enough how much I just want to hold these myself. I just want to walk around and hold these babies by myself. So that's what I've got for you today. I've, you know, got my finished bunnies. I got my finished elephant. I don't know how I'm going to get around to putting the teddy bear together, but I really, really want to get that finished. And then I just been working on my shawl share. The pattern that I purchased to make this shawl, I'm not going to say it's challenging, but you have to look at it from the right point of view. And I was like trying to read every row's, you know, direction, but the pattern also came with a diagram. And as soon as I looked at the diagram, I was like, oh my gosh, I should have looked at that first. It's so much easier for me to follow, you know, like I know where I'm supposed to put this next stitch, but it tells you all the stitches you're supposed to skip in the meantime, and then calls it like a chain 2 space. And that's a whole lot of reading and understanding that means nothing to me. And I just want to take my pencil and cross through some of that or whatever. So I'm only reading the important bits. So All right, guys, that's my video for today. I hope everybody's doing well. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and please do come back and see me again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.